sparing no nigga, bitch, cause I'm from Dallas, Texas. If he flexing in my section, then we full court press.
Everybody want that 5-star,
Facts.
#1 in the nation,
All that.
all American. Like, nah, it ain't always gonna be sunshine and rainbows.
Nah, for real. That JUCO, you gon', I mean, shoot, just from the standpoint of like relationships that you build, you know, the stuff that you see, like you out there seeing dudes who was 4s and 5 stars, but they had something that you know derailed they track, so now they in JUCO, but you still playing against them dudes. So you know you still playing against them dudes that's really like that. You feel me? But yeah, just
I'm already knowing.
yeah, the relationships that you build and all that stuff is crazy.
Cause I was finna say like, last chance you really like put it into perspective.
Literally,
like it be some cold cats out there. It's just situational, bro.
And it's like you think, oh, you know, because it's a Netflix TV show, like they gassed it.
Yeah.
Not gassed. Not one season that they had on there was with they gas. Like the stuff you gonna see, the coaches you gonna come through, the players that you gonna cross paths with, like it's literally like that, no matter where you go.
Facts. Episode 22, man. We back, another one. We got T3 in the building, man. Personal sports trainers, personal football, DB and linebacker trainer. Let's get it right. So shit, what's going on, my brother? How you doing today?
Nothing much, man. You know, I'm chilling. Had a little off day. You know, I had no sessions going on.
Yeah.
You know, so had a little day. You know, get ready for the new year. You know, just get things together on my end. You know, but name Lucian Paul. You know, as you see on Instagram, T3 Peasy, CEO and founder of T3 to the top elite training. You know, not just football, but you know, sports in general, and also you know, regular fitness. You know, I'd like to do it in all realms of fitness in general.
Okay. A man of many hats.
Yes, sir. For sure.
Man of many hats. So you said you had an off day today. What is an off day like for you?
We're really off day for me. If I'm not, you know, working on my own body, getting my own workout in, it's really just, you know, going through, seeing like what I gotta do. You know, off day not necessarily being off. You know, I'm still hitting up clients. I'm still, you know, reaching out to my higher ups. You know, stuff like that. And you know, I'm still in school, so it might still be some schoolwork that got to get done, and you know, or it might just be chilling with my people, you know. But yeah, it's pretty smooth. I still be all around the place. So yeah, that's what a normal off day look like for me.
Okay. So let's talk about what it looks like when you're in the gym. Then with your athletes, typical work day with T3, Coach T3.
So boom, as of right now, we starting to phase into the off-season training. And so a lot of what I do is, you know, built around mobility, built around, you know, footwork, agility, different things like that. So right now, it's kind of like the building blocks. You got a lot of kids, you know, or a lot of older guys, they fresh out the season, so they out of shape. So first thing we got to do, get everybody back in shape, no matter if that's, you know, through speed training, you know, resistance work, whatever the case may be. We got to get everybody back in shape. But we also got to build the body back up. So that's where the whole mobility aspect, everything come in, you know. We make sure that the hips is right. That's the main, you know, one of the most important body parts when it comes to sports. Got to make sure your hips right, you know, and that's no matter what position, no matter what sport you playing. So right now we just building our guys back up. We start off with mobility, you know, go through dynamic warm-up. Then based on what sport and position they playing, we going through, you know, 45 minutes to an hour of, you know, dynamic drills that are going to, you know, replicate in-game movements that they're doing. And it's basically just refining everything. You know, you get a lot of kids, no matter what skill level, you know, you can bring out the athleticism in somebody if you teach them.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I do is just refining. You know, I don't make, you know, an athlete. I get them how they are, you know, and then we work. It's, you know, it's a relationship. So, yeah, that's what the everyday look like, you know, just warming up. Right now, we're just getting everybody back in shape, getting their feet back under them, you know, recovering from the season.
Okay. So let's talk about the present. All right. So before we got into it, you said that you were diagnosed with a heart condition.
Yes, sir.
And that led you to be able to, you know, see that you want to be coaching football and training in football too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that story and let's get into that. Like, what was it like going through that? Can we like get a story time?
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, anybody that know me, you know, I come up playing sports, being in shape, you know.
Yeah.
I was pretty nice at what I did, you know.
What position did you play?
I played linebacker and safety.
Okay.
When I drilled, you know, that's what I mainly focused on. But you know, growing up, played everything: football, basketball, ran track, all the different sports. But then, around the time of me leaving to go to school, you know, signed everything, finna go head out there to Brenham, go to Blinn. You know, you gotta get your physicals and all that. And so, really piggyback to, it's crazy. We had this track meet, my senior year, and they was doing EKGs, and that's basically like a heart test. You know, they see where your heart is at and all that. And so my results came back. I'm literally chilling with my partners, and we all chilling. Everybody get their results like at the same time. So they stuff, oh yeah, it's good, it's good. And in mine, like in bold, it said, oh, should get further attention, something like that. So then, fast forward back to when it's time for me to go to school. Doctor, they see all the, your records and stuff like that. So they say, oh, we see you got this EKG, and so we actually can't clear you like to play. And so that's like a shock, like, what you mean? So I'm just thinking, oh, I'm finna get further testing, get cleared. And so now I'm at school at this point because, we got summer workouts. And so having to relay all this information to my coaches, shooting back and forth from Houston to Brenham, getting all these tests done because I'm trying to, speed up this process. And so get the test done. I was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy or familial dilated cardiomyopathy. And that's basically a heart condition where not only is my heart somewhat enlarged, but it just doesn't function, properly. So I'm on, different medications, different things like that to slow my heart rate down so that it can function properly. And so, I'm on these medications, losing a whole lot of weight, but, still trying to do what I do on the side to make sure I'm staying in shape. And so then I got a stress test. I passed the stress test. So like, okay, cool, you could play. So I go through my whole freshman year. Of course, I medically redshirted because by the time I got cleared, we already 4 games into the season. So there's no point to, go in, lose eligibility. So I'm practicing, doing my thing in practice. Fast forward to the next spring. I'm doing my thing, but I'm starting to feel differently. Like, like I feel like I'm holding myself back because if I do push myself too hard, I'm out of breath, full body cramps, out of conscience, different things like that. And so then it got to the point where we rolling back around to my sophomore year. The season rolling around, we going through fall camp, all that stuff, and grading out good and all the scrimmages, doing what I need to do as a player, but I don't feel like how I'm supposed to feel. Like I don't feel like myself before this whole process started. So boom, go. I was going to like one doctor before, went to, a better doctor. They going through everything, more extensive testing, and then they like, oh, we're not really seeing too much progress. If anything, it's like a little bit of regression, with my heart functionality and things like that. So it just came down to the point to where I'm thinking, long-term in life, because I always been more than a football player, sit down with my parents, sit down, my loved ones. And then it's just like, okay, this might not be what I'm able to do because of the fact that, if you can ask anybody that play, if you can't feel like yourself, like it's one thing to be out there with an injury, or I recovering from an ACL.
You gonna hold yourself back.
Literally.
It's gonna hold you from making them plays.
And that's how you literally hold you back from making plays, and also like you get yourself hurt like that, So I'm like,
that
man,
too.
I just had to hang them up, simply put. And so, I shared my tears about that, had those hard conversations with coaches. But I just want to shout out my coaches that I had at Blend because, like, automatically, being that I was someone that was a team leader and all that stuff, they're like, oh, you're on the coaching staff now.
Yeah.
You're a student assistant. So, they took me in. I became a student assistant and started helping out with the linebackers. JUCO stuff go on. Coaches quit. Coaches got to leave. I ended up being a whole position coach. Like, literally coaching my peers. Like, literally. Because my position coach got moved up to D.C., all that stuff. So, shoot, I'm coaching my peers, and it's, doing what I need to do. Had a cooler season, all right. And, like, midway through the season, I'm literally just laid up one day, and I'm like, man, I'm seeing different stuff. I'm thinking about how much I work out and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I'm finna start a personal training business, just, like, dry. Like, literally it came down from that. And it don't take much to start it. Like, my whole thing, I'm starting off with basic footwork stuff, stuff that I know, like, on the back of my hand, stuff that I don't have to really study for. Like, I know different drills, different movements, movement patterns, stuff like that. And so that's how I got into building what I have today with the whole personal training business. And, yeah, that's kind of been a story. And then since then, it's just really took off. It's really took off, a whole lot. It's a whole lot more that I plan on doing because I really just hit a year, with everything. But
so
since then, it just really took off.
What was the hardest part about it all? Was it accepting that you had to put it down as far as the cleats or moving on?
I definitely would say accepting it. Because once I accepted it, I will say, well, that's kind of hard to say because what I did was, which may not have been the healthiest thing, I dived straight into something else. Like I didn't let those emotions, like really just sit until months later where it was like, man, I'm just sitting back thinking like, damn, that ain't what I'm doing no more. So, it is like a little bit of, you miss it. It's something that I poured blood, sweat, and tears into, poured years and time into, and that was something that I saw in my future. So I guess the hardest thing, I changed that back to accepting it. But just for so long, I just pushed it to the side.
Yeah.
Like, I really was just like, oh, this is what I'm on now. Um, so yeah, accepting it, that kind of would be the hardest thing. But moving on, not really, just because I'm still around the game. I'm still experiencing many different things. I'm living through everybody that I work with, everybody that I meet. So it ain't too much that I can say I ain't been able to experience. So for sure, just accepting that that's not me no more.
It still sounds like God still kept you close
Oh,
enough
most
to where
For sure.
you can still be happy with what you doing in your life.
For sure.
He kept you close to that game.
For sure, yeah. And it being that you bring up God, like that's definitely some. Since I stopped playing, I always been in the church and all that stuff, but my faith really started to pick back up once I stopped playing. Thanks to my friends, different things like that, people that I'm around, just keeping me whole.
Yeah.
And that's just God speaking through them, speaking to me. And that got me back in the church. Got me back to praying, got me back to studying my word, and different things like that. And I'm nowhere near perfect in that sense still.
Yeah.
But just it was everything that's came since then has really just been a blessing in disguise. Yeah.
Speaking of shout outs though, I do want to shout out Looks. I want to say appreciate you, know what I'm saying? Y'all go shop Looks. There may be a promo code dropping real soon. I got to get that in. And we going to get right. My boy Devo, shit, you already know we locked in. Y'all go shop Looks. Now back into what we was doing.
Gotta get the shout out.
No bullshit.
Because best believe once we started talking about, I got my shout outs for sure. Because my village, man.
Nah, you reminded me. That's all it was. You reminded me I
That's
had unfinished business. So
definitely.
yeah. So speaking of training.
Yeah.
How was it building your clientele of players, and then just going through your page, you got a pretty diverse amount of players as far as like ethnicity, and it's not just the kid from around the block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For sure.
So what was that like building your clientele, and how has it been connected with those athletes?
Man, it's been through so many different ways. Of course, you got social media. That's really, I haven't even tapped into building it through social media yet, but literally. So the main reason why my clientele has been able to build, again, my village, bro, my partners that I play with, it's been dudes who I ain't had to question. From my first announcement that I'm training, I'm coming to tap in because they know that the work that we done put in together, I got a partner at Iowa State right now, Blake. Partner at UA's Justice, Ben, these dudes that I played JUCO ball with off the top of my head, them three right there, like, we've been thugging it since the second I started training, no matter where I was at, no matter if, I'm pulling up on them, they pulling up on me. So those been like my test dummies, I train them, I post them because, those dudes that are already polished, it's easy to put in work like that. And then me coming up, my coaches that I had growing up, they throw kids to me. That was one way that my clientele. Another way, like recently, has been, I do a lot of my stuff over at BME camps. They took me in. Coach Donnie, Coach Cooks, they took me in and they throw all their kids their way. They throw all their kids my way. And so, I've been working with them. That's been building my clientele a whole lot. And then really just, going and like I done been out in Navasota, Texas. I done been out all Brenham, stuff like that. Like going to different camps, different events, just doing, kind of like what I like to think is, a little bit of charity work and just getting in touch with people or like, just going back to everybody. I got, like I said, my village so crazy. I got so many coaches who done helped out so far. This goes all the way back to people like Coach Craig, South Main Mustangs. Going to their events, and working with those kids. And I start training them, and yeah, really. But yeah, social media for sure. This past summer, that was another one that started to pick up. With the reels and all that stuff. So
was it always easy for you, as far as like connected with the athlete? It's not so much easy with every coach.
Yeah, it has been because like I know, first I was a real coachable kid, but like I know how to just tap in. Like I'm a personal, like I love talking.
Yeah.
So it's like the more I talk, through my instruction, and I know I'm in that perfect generation to where I know how to be stern, and really like get my point across when I'm dealing with some kids because I'm teaching them, but I also know how to relate to my generation, of course. And I also know how to relate to the generations before me because of the fact that, it's a certain respect level that you got to have. And then people respect how seriously I take my craft. So, that connection, from the connection standpoint, I ain't never really had no problem. Like, once I get you in that lab, shit, we locked in. No matter if it's, sports or not, we locked in. So, yeah, that's something that's never really been an issue.
Okay. So let's take a dive into the past.
Yeah.
All right. And you say you played linebacker, a little bit of DB too.
Yeah.
Who would you say that you modeled your game after, or who would you say that you played like?
So what come to mind first? I got a dude, Isaiah Simmons. He's still in the league right now. He played at Clemson. That was like literally the prototype I tried to follow. That hybrid, could play inside, play outside the box. I got people that I know personally that still play ball that I didn't watch growing up. Jeremiah Harris, he over there at PV right now. That's
Yeah.
dude I'm cool with. That's one of my brothers. He don't even know. I watched him growing up. He was a dog, play inside, outside the box. It got guys. Of course, you got the greats, Ray Lewis, and then you could people, Michael Parsons. I ain't really watching when I was growing up, but like once he started, his draft process, I started watching him. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was basically, anybody who could do multiple things, not just put in one box. That was type of people that I like to watch.
So you was going to go get the quarterback too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
'Cause-
coming off the edge, playing inside out the box, guarding the slot, guarding the tight end, doing different things like that. Man on with the running back out of the backfield.
Okay.
Little Swiss Army knife. That's what kind of helped me out now. Because I did train and learn so much from so many different positions, where it's not really nothing that.
So now you just plug it in and make it mini. Well, I ain't gonna say mini use, but you dropping your own into everybody.
Almost definitely for sure. Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So who made you fall in love with the game then?
My pops. Ain't no doubt about that. My pops. From the first sport I played was baseball, but I stopped that on my own. I could have chased that. Shoot, looking back on it, it's like, dang, should have kept playing baseball the way they were getting paid. But
hey, you hear me though?
No, for
because
real.
when I finally have a kid, like I ain't even play baseball, but you gonna try it out.
No, for real. But yeah, no, my pops though for sure. He played college ball down at Southern University. Won a SWAC championship, and he had me when he was still on campus. So I was around that from a real young age, and then it was something I naturally wanted to do. We had a perk one day playing, and shoot, Southman Mustangs, they had practice, and I'm like, I want to go play football. And so I had my first little flag football game, football practice. Sorry, but it was like that switch just flipped. So I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing now. And then him coaching me, training me, just pouring all his. That's someone who I ain't never really had to question where he at, and stuff like that. So he been my coach all the way through. So yeah, he definitely. Not only did he, set that foundation for me, but in my times of doubt, in my time when it comes to sports and everything like that, he been there to, push me back up. And even now, we on the same level, when it comes to, how we can relate to each other. But shoot, he still put me on game whenever I need to, for sure.
Yeah, it'd be different with your pops, bro. I was just talking to my partner about it last week. I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago. It was like he had talked to his pops. He was like, yeah, I need to call my big bro. I was like, yeah. Yeah, you call your big bro.
Literally, it's like a big brother now. So
it ain't even, especially at this age. Like once you done made it to this age, it ain't even pops no more. It's just big bro.
For sure.
Just let me talk to you.
Game, for real.
Let me sit down and talk to you real quick. I just talked to my OG earlier. Like that's crazy that you said that. Like it really, big bro.
Literally, it make a difference for sure. Just me being a man, like that's just. With sports and outside of sports, everything I do, is not only to emulate him, but also be better than what he was, because that's what he want me to do.
Yeah.
For sure, so yeah.
For sure. At first, I hadn't even planned on going to college. Like, I still wanted to do my podcast, but I did not want to go to college.
Yeah.
That man is the only reason why I went to college. Like, if it wasn't Phil, because I definitely wasn't going to go. Like, nah.
For real, yeah. That piece of paper, that diploma, it do something for sure.
Yeah.
Really just, and it's like, being that you could put your head down for 4-5 years and really get something that's meaningful that you could always lean on, always fall back on, no matter what's going on in life, it's meaningful for sure. But yeah, that's for sure. Like I said, being better than him, he went to school but ain't finished. I'm going to school. I'm going to finish. Like, that ain't no question. But I'm doing that not only because of me, but for him.
That piece of paper gonna get got. It's gonna get got.
It's gonna get got. Might mess around and get to him. Like I ain't got number time, so sure. Might as well.
So, being a PV student, can we get a quick story time of just any craziness that's just going on at PV? Because as somebody that doesn't go to PV but goes out to PV enough, I done been maced. So I gotta ask, what is a good story that you got for me?
A good story, like I said, I'm new to the hill, for real. But I mean, shoot, my story started back last year. I wasn't even there. So Blinn is 30 minutes away from PV, and so we go back to last year homecoming. This past year, it was cool. It was just too much going on, too many people.
Yeah, it was a lot of people. It was a
whole
lot
of people. Like
it was a lot
of people. That's where a lot of all the extras was going on. But last year homecoming was crazy. Like we out there on the Tuesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, wilding.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the stuff that you see at PV, you had Rondo on your podcast.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't no faking it. We'll go on at the parties. Like, it ain't just because the camera. And I promise you, really be worried about what's going on when the camera's off.
I got some incriminated evidence of some crazy like stuff that I probably like
some real high up people.
Yeah.
You got alumni, you got all that. Like you'll be real surprised with who you see and what you see from
Just
them
being
people.
in PV, bro. It's always PV.
Yeah. PV,
But
yeah.
You got a story for us?
Nah, I can't even. I can't
story?
even much. Nah.
I understand.
Yeah.
It gets bad out there, bro.
It gets bad for sure.
It gets bad out there.
Just know, like, it does. Yeah, no, that homecoming last year, that really was just that homecoming last year.
Yeah, he had a time.
Had a time, for sure. For sure.
All right, man. Back to football. So
Yeah.
we talked about the league, and I like that you was talking about the hips and mobility, stuff like that. So that was some of the things that you focus on. What would you say, because this is something that I talk to my partners about.
Yeah.
In this league that we see now in the NFL, what is it that you think that we will see in the next 3 years, 3 to 5 years? Like, did it change the game as far as, like, you see in basketball, it's gotten positionless from the 1 to the 5. Like, what do you think we'll see in the NFL?
It's so in the NFL, I definitely think you're gonna start to see like play calling, the type of plays, 'cause they need stuff, So you already got when it comes to the quarterback.
Yeah.
The mobile quarterback is the now.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't have a
biggest problem.
productive team if you don't have a quarterback that can be mobile. So in a sense, to where you have the positionless, basketball aspect of things.
Yeah,
That's gonna start to phase into football. I feel like because you got dudes who it's kind of starting to get into how it is with the running backs now. You can't be a running back if you can't catch a pass out there.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't run a
For
route,
sure.
you're literally not gonna get
For
paid.
sure.
Because that's a position that's starting to get pushed down. You only seeing a few guys, the top 5. That's really only guys who really gonna touch some bread. Those are really guys that are really valuable to a team that you won't get traded the next season just because. So I think that it's different. At the end of the day, I really hope that like the league doesn't just get too soft because you can't play the game, soft. You're going to start to see like injuries aren't going to go down.
Yeah.
That's a part of it. So I really hope that it isn't, a case where it's turning to flag football. But I think that
I'm glad you said that. What do you I got something else for you, but continue on.
Yeah. First of all, I play defense, so you can kind of get
Yeah.
you kind of get how I feel about that. Like we trying to put that lay it down on somebody. You feel me? Paul.
I feel you. All
But,
the way.
But so we trying to make a play. Like we can't go because that's how you get hurt. So I really just hope that the game doesn't get to a point to where that can't be done. I think that when it comes to positions, being that the league is so pass heavy, being that sports in general is so pass heavy,
Yeah.
you got to be able to cover somebody. So it don't matter if you at linebacker, it don't matter if you even at outside, come off the edge. You got to be able to drop into a curl flat. You got to be able to, guard a running back. And
Some of them dudes running 4.3s, 4.4s.
And so what I will say is, everything is younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got kids who 7, 8 years old who I literally work with, and it's like I wasn't doing that when I was 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
But it's like it has to happen. If you want to be upper echelon, it's literally starting off. Soon as you start walking, like you got to be like. I hate to say it, like even because I'm still a regular person outside of the personal training, like you got to have somebody that you're working with from that age if you want to be upper echelon because so many kids nowadays have access to it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's one thing for sure. Just the skill level is going to just keep going higher and higher and higher, and that's from every position, top to bottom. Linemen, too. Like, you got linemen who are extremely athletic.
Yeah.
People don't realize.
Me and my cousin talk about that all the time, like how linemen aren't stocky anymore.
Yeah.
They're more so swole
Yeah,
now.
swole,
They're lean and
like-
swole, big, 6'5", 280, well, not even 280, 300.
You feel me?
And they don't even look 300. They look about 280.
When they come in and pulling, they come in to take something out.
Yeah,
They not just trying to get a hold on you. They really gonna come get you. So it's like the skill level And you know, it's thanks to guys like myself. You know, so many different dudes, especially in Houston, who take the time to really work with everybody, and just to help just create bridge the gap between the old and the new, and just push new things forward when it comes to football. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be just a skill level. I feel like it's gonna be so crazy just to see how that starts.
It's only gonna get better. It gets better every year, but it's only gonna continue to get better and better.
For sure.
Like for the longest, I was one of those people. You gotta have a really top 3 quarterback to win a Super Bowl, which I still think you do. But like right now in this league, like in this current day right now, you might not need a top 3 quarterback.
You see, like what Cam said, you got them game managers. I wouldn't say to the extent of winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But for sure, you got teams like San Fran, you got teams like Dallas, you got teams like Miami, who they got a top 15. I wouldn't even go to say they have a bottom 15 tier quarter, because you can't make nothing shake if your quarterback is not producing at all.
Yeah.
No matter who you have. But if you have a quarterback that can do just enough to move the ball down the field, and you have enough athletes, you got a good surrounding pieces even on the O-line, you got a good defense, like you're going to be productive. And I wouldn't say Super Bowl, because let playoffs roll around, you still got your players like Patrick, who got 2 of them.
Yeah.
You can't go against him. You got players like Jalen, who's been there. So, it's different when the playoffs roll around.
And Dak hasn't been. Just got to put that out there.
Dak has not been.
So, I hate to sound like, a hater, but that's a fact.
It's not been.
That's
and
a
it's
fact.
Like, I can't really go off past. He ain't really shown me nothing. It's still the same guys that when it come down to it, them playoffs roll around, you going to see what it's going to be.
So, with that being said, and I like that Lamar is, doing this thing in Baltimore.
Love it.
Because it pissed me off when they wouldn't give my man his contract this past offseason. But Derek Carr out here ain't winning playoff games, and he getting signed by the Saints.
Come on now.
And where are they at? where are they at?
Shit.
But since we into the NFL talk, so who do you think comes out of this season with the Lombardi Trophy?
I ain't gonna lie, it showed last week. I'm taking Lamar. Right now, I'm taking
You taking Baltimore?
Hey, tough. From top to bottom. We're going to start off with the defense. You got Roquan and Patrick Smith. Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen at linebacker. You got Kyle Hamilton, young guy who Swiss Army knife, literally inside, outside the box, can rush the passer. You got Marlon Humphrey, who, can guard the slot, can go out there, guard the Z, guard the X. You got people on the back end. You got dogs, and of course on the offensive side,
Clowney. They said Clowney's having like one of his best statistical years. Yeah,
having one of them years, because you got dudes. It's like not everybody going to be top one in their position, despite what they did coming out of college, and not everybody's story is the same. That's somebody who done been to his 4th or 5th team, and now you starting to see the right system, playing some of that you love, what you doing, and shoot, it's gonna pay off.
I feel like Baltimore historically knows how to build defenses.
For sure.
Like there's things that franchises know how to do historically. Like Pittsburgh knows how to draft people. Dallas knows how to draft people. Baltimore knows how to have that rugged defense, like
from top to bottom,
and they don't even have to be top 5 at their position. But they don't have to be.
Into the culture. You buy
Facts.
Into the culture, so
Facts.
I for sure love what Lamar doing, and loving that, because even with black quarterbacks, Lamar, like they look at Lamar, they see hoodlum, in a sense. You got people like Patrick Mahomes, he mixed.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like they still see him dang near as white. You got Jalen Hurts, he's a nice, respectable man. Like Jalen Hurts always gonna say the right thing. You got Lamar, they thinking,
Lamar represents the culture too much.
Culture. He represents the culture too much, but that's who the top one right now.
Yeah.
He top one right now.
So who come out the NFC then? If you take Baltimore.
NFC, I'm gonna take I ain't gonna lie. I want Philly to make it out. I want Philly to make it out of the NFC.
That's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough.
I just don't.
I think NFC is so wide open. Well, the whole league is wide open. I like the Baltimore pick, but it's like, so I'm one of those guys. I pay attention to the patterns.
Yeah.
Dallas always finds a way to mess up.
Always.
San Francisco never has a quarterback. Philly, I mean, you're good here and there, but like for the last 3 weeks, they didn't got. Well, it's 4 now. They just beat the Giants, but they barely beat the Giants.
Yeah.
The Giants are trash. Ben said that. But back to Philly, like they got raped 3 weeks in a row. They shouldn't have lost to Seattle. The San Francisco game was understandable. I think it was like 3 games in 10, 14 days or something like that.
Yeah.
The Dallas game, I know that Dallas game hurt them. Yeah. But for Philly, it's like, man, I don't know.
Man,
I don't trust they back end.
People don't. That's true. That's valid.
And then the OC change, I feel like, okay, so I'm a Patriots fan. Week 1, they go against us. They kicking our ass first quarter. Rest of the game, we was with them.
Yeah.
So, like me, you know, I'm like.
Yeah, that's a moral victory.
Yeah, we back. We lose by 5 points.
Yeah.
Last drive, we back. Mac 10, like, finally. No.
Not at all.
And Philly keep getting molested every week in the secondary. Like, Darius Slay, I'm not going to say Darius Slay isn't that guy anymore, but there's a few times where he's gotten exposed this season.
For sure, yeah.
And Bradbury. Bradbury's the worst, though.
Bradbury.
Bradbury.
You talking about some top CB2? No, not at all.
He needs to hang him up.
Yeah.
He needs to hang him up.
Slay, he one of them guys. I mean, you know, it's a young dudes league, but what I feel like people don't understand is it's a very long season in the NFL.
It is.
You have that's long. When you get to those upper echelon, types of football, the film study, the level of like another team literally knowing what you're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
People don't like it's
your tendencies. They know.
Tendencies, like it's literally crazy. So it's hard to just literally win out. Like So now you're starting to see what's really going on. You're starting to see who really cooking stuff up. And I feel like, okay, so yeah, they didn't drop the last 3. It depends on how they finish it out. If they finish the regular season on a high note, I feel like that is going to carry into the playoffs. Like undoubtedly is going to carry into the playoffs. Yeah. But now you get to the point to where they're not going into the playoffs with 1 loss on the season or 2 losses, so they know what that loss like, what it looks like, how it feels. So now they know how to bounce back from that. So that's why I feel like like you say, it's so wide open and. I like San Fran. I
do, but I don't trust Purdy.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't trust Purdy, and I've never been a Purdy believer. It's more so like they want somebody that had this little story so bad.
Yeah.
But I need people to understand that there will only be one Tom Brady. Like, literally. There will never be another Tom Brady.
Don't do that. You can't do that.
There will never.
Straight, but nah, that's.
Oh, he's a late round pick and he's winning.
Man.
He's not throwing picks and he's a game. And he's not Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's no discredit to him. He's a professional quarterback. Like
he is. I will give him that.
Hardest thing to do ever.
I will give him that. But he's not Tom Brady, bro. People got to stop with that. And I hate the flack that Brady's been getting for like getting on the league far as like
making it soft.
The quarterback's not taking accountability. First off, like the Gardner Minshew throw where Casey hit Pittman.
Yeah.
I told my moms, I'm on the phone with my moms. I'm like, yeah, he was wrong, but as a defender. What am I supposed to do? Because
I'm supposed to just
stop. Like he diving out to make that catch because he got a meal to put on the table. I'm diving out to make that tackle because I got a meal to provide for mine.
Pull up so he could fall on the ground, get back up, possibly shake me, and you never know what could happen. So it's glad you brought that up. Like that just blows me with this whole like it's a violent, physical sport.
But we've been knew that.
So it's like taken away from that. You're not going to see less injuries because of that. Like, you're literally not. It's not going to do anything from the injury prevention standpoint. Yeah. You have your dirty plays. Yes, that's a part of it. You have dirty plays in every sport. You got, no matter what sport we're talking about, we can flip to basketball. You got people like Draymond Green who just slap people in the face. Stuff is going to happen in these physical. Tripping. But things are going to happen, like, in these sports to where, it's going to get real physical. And people are going to get hurt. That's a part of it. But, even from the entertainment aspect, it's not going to be as entertaining anymore because of the fact that I can't go tackle this guy like how I've been taught to. Of course, we taught to keep your head out of it. Like, you're supposed to keep your head out of it. I'm not trying to hurt myself. So it's like, if it happens, it's not on purpose.
Yeah, to suspend dude for the rest of the season is crazy. That's crazy.
Really messing over his bread. And, like, they don't. Like, and you got plays that happen like that so much, so it's such a coin toss. I'm like, oh, we're gonna persecute this guy, but we're not gonna persecute him because
like the quarterback needs to be held he needs to be fined for putting his receiver in those positions to even take a hit like that.
It's a part of the game. Like, you sign up for it, you getting paid, and it's even from you can't even pull the whole you getting paid card because it happens on every level. Like, it's a part of it. When you put on them pads, you are liable to not only do good, but also
do
shake your life up. Like,
I done got my tooth knocked out in the game. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like
It could
it's
go there.
definitely every man for himself
It
out
could
there,
go there.
bro.
So, I don't know why. I don't know. Like, it's a part of the game.
Yeah.
Simply put, it's a part of the game. It's always gonna be a part of the game. So to try to take it out, it's no point for that for sure.
Okay, so let's get back to a more positive light about
Yeah.
the game. So let's talk about GOATs.
Yeah.
I want you to build your dream NFL offense: 1 quarterback, 1 receiver. Well, no, 1 running back, 2 receivers, and a tight end all
Okay.
time.
I'm
Who
gonna
you
go.
going with?
I'm going Tom at the Q position.
Okay.
You can't. I mean, he got 7.
Yeah, I like you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tom. at
you
the
my
quarter-
type of people.
I'm not one of them. It's a mobile quarterback now, but man, if Tom on the field, I'm taking Tom. Like,
Boy,
that's-
Thomas Patrick Edward Brady is a
sure.
fool. The
for
third.
sure. Running back, you could go so many different ways at running back. This a hard one for me, cause I got dudes that I just like.
I think running back tells your style of football.
Yeah, I just like if I just going off somewhere that I just like, I'm gonna go all the way left field and I'm gonna go Arian Foster. He's not the GOAT, but like
That's solid.
like
solid.
if you know, you know.
Yeah, that's solid.
I like guys like LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah, that's solid.
But I'm gonna go AP.
Okay.
Adrian Peterson at my running back. Not that Adrian Peterson for my running back for sure. Run real hard, real nasty. Receiver. I'm a traditional GOAT type of guy. I'm gonna go Jerry.
Okay.
I get 1 receiver or 2 receivers?
2.
2 receivers. So yeah, I'm have Jerry on one end. So I'm not gonna get another outside. I'm gonna take a guy that I can kind of put in the slot. I'm gonna go new age. I'm gonna go give me Jettis. Like
Jettis.
he one of them ones.
like Jettis.
He one of them ones.
He
I
is.
gotta take a guy from that's
That
playing
boy
right now.
Jettis is a fool.
Yeah, I gotta-
oh my God, Jettis is a fool.
Gotta take a guy that's playing right now. Or Dana could have went like Megatron or something like that. But it's so many dudes. Like it's no one GOAT. And then tight end. If I'm going Tom at quarterback, you
only
know
right.
I gotta go at tight end.
Only right. It's only right.
There's
You
other
go.
dudes who do more, but I'm going Gronk at tight end if I
Only
got Tom at
no
quarterback.
one right answer, and it's definitely Gronk.
Yeah, like
It's definitely Gronk.
it's some dudes, but man, Gronk one of the ones. Gronk one of the ones where if I'm lying down looking at Gronk, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a long
Just
day.
throw it to him. He finna catch the
Come
ball
on
while
now.
2 niggas is dangling
on
at his
now.
ankle. He gonna drag them to the end zone, and he gonna stiff arm somebody in the process while he dragging them to the
Nah, you
end zone.
doing all that off of 3 beers before the game. Come on now.
And then gonna laugh at you in the end zone to spike the ball. Like,
Feel
bro,
me?
what?
Like, I'm taking Gronk for sure at tight end. And shoot, that's what I
That's
got.
solid. That's solid.
Yeah.
That's solid. I like the AP pick. That's gonna go over a lot of people's heads.
I don't know why though.
I think people forget that AP was in the NFL.
Man.
Not NFL, but MVP talk.
Man, as a
2K.
Come on now, 2K.
But people forget about him.
Run
I ain't gonna lie.
hard. Do your homework on Adrian Peterson. He run
Forget
hard.
about him.
Come on.
I'm trying to think, cause I feel like I said, running back tells like what type of ball you want to play.
Yeah.
Like
I
I feel like AP best
Yeah.
fits me too. I need somebody that can juke you, but most definitely
still
will run through
through
your
you. Come on,
ass. Ooh, nah, AP was a fool.
That's a crazy offense though. I'm just,
Nah, that's tough.
crazy
That's tough.
offense.
That's tough. So before we wrap, I want to touch on 2 more things. Let's talk about the transfer portal, NCAA. What's your thoughts on that? As coming from a athletic trainer.
I just like I tell all my young guys who coming out of high school, man. It sucks for them. It really, really does suck because if you ain't got a star next to your name, your expectations on where you might go, it's simply gonna have to go down
Yeah.
because of the fact that a college coach at a Power 5 school, he's gonna take a guy who's played 1 or 2 years at another Power 5 before he takes somebody coming out of JUCO. And so then after you get out of JUCO, then you have it really goes like this. You got a Power 5 going, you got somebody who's doing, horizontal transfer, or someone who is transferring up but has played Division I football. That's what they're looking at first because they know that they've been able to be coached at this level and they played, some type of ball at that level before. Then they gonna go. Then of course we got the 4 and 5 stars coming out of high school. Like,
Yeah.
those are 1%ers. They gonna always get theirs. From that standpoint. And then you got JUCO. That's kind of on the tail end, but they still going because you got guys who bounce back, but that's still a form of college football that they looking at. Then you got your regular everyday, college, high school kids. So it's kind of. I work with a lot of high school kids, so I feel for them. But I do have my college guys that I work with, different things like that. But I mean, a lot of that stuff is just fuel for money, simply put.
Yeah.
Money, and then, wanting to win. Nobody want to be in a place where, you know, I could be that one guy, but shoot, if I could go compete for national championship and get paid in the process, why not? And then shoot, you gonna start to see. It's basically just trying to bring people back in, because it's not just people just think of it from like the football aspect, but I feel like it's really going to show too basketball, because of the fact that basketball has so many different avenues that you can go through fresh out of high school. You can go OT, you could go overseas, you could go so many different things. You go G League, all those different things. So now they trying to funnel that back in, and you know, really just because not everybody can be one and done.
Give them more options.
But they trying to bring that option back into, you know, college, because college is not just, you know, it's such a big money scheme, but even from like the governmental aspect like that, they just trying to keep, you know, it just goes into a big scheme with the economy and all that stuff, boosting that stuff. So yeah, the transfer portal, it has its goods, it has its bads. You know, you got guys who just got a bad rap, you know, at their first school, and then they get that second chance at a new school and they able to play immediately, and you see, oh no, he was a guy that just, you know, he wasn't able to play at his first school, simply put. And so, you know, I know a couple guys like that, you know, that's finna make some things shake. You know, guys that I work with, you know, they finna be in the portal, and once they get to their next school, that new school that's gonna get them, gonna see that, okay, they got a gym, they got a dog. You know, so
I think it gives the players more what is it, power. More power over what they want to do, because I think for the longest we felt as in the NCAA, that was that last like threshold of really just being able to be told what you want. Like you hear coaches say it all the time, like you coach college if you want a player that's gonna listen to you, because in the NFL they getting paid. I don't gotta listen to you. I get traded, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
That bad regardless.
But I think what that transfer portal really does for the kids, it gives them more power. So now it's like those undercover things that's going on with the coaches and the players. Those things don't happen, because now coach knows. You know what I'm saying? This player could leave me. I'm not as powerful as I think I am. I think that's good for the kids, bro.
Yeah, definitely. It give them that power, but it also give them that freedom to duck smoke.
Yeah.
It's simply put, because you got dudes who would naturally thug it out for 2 to 3 years where they at, because they ain't got nowhere to go, but now they can just hop in the portal. So it got its pros and cons too. But for sure, that power, you know, and it's power in the book, power in the paycheck.
Did you see? I can't remember what the kid name was, but he recently just committed to Colorado, 5-star offensive lineman.
Yeah. Coach about some. You want to be a rapper?
Yeah.
The coach is recruit.
What you think about that? As far as like, you know, people once again, you know, picking at Dion and hating on him pretty much. Like,
is another black man doing what he got to do to provide for his family, is getting hated on because he's doing it in an unapologetic way.
Now all of a sudden, all his players want to be rappers. What type of shit is that, bro?
And what people don't realize is they use those same ethics, those same, you know, ways to get players, but we gonna stick with us. If you got any type of morals, you gonna go to what you know first.
Yeah.
And so it's like Dion, and who wouldn't want to go play for one of the greatest cornerbacks? Well, the greatest cornerback all time, like arguably one of the greatest football players all time. Like, simply put, he gonna get his.
If you say you don't, you's a hater. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If you say you don't want to play for Dion, you's a hater. It's simply put, because like, even when being from Dallas, even growing up in Dallas, you had Prime Prep, you had Truth. Man, it was folk all across the Metroplex trying to play for Dion. I'm talking about taking their kids out of their schools, taking them over there to Prime Prep. Like, bro, it shouldn't even reach this level that you hating on them. Now you want to say you want to be a rapper, bro? What?
That's just other.
We playing football, folk.
That's literally, they'll smile up in your face, like, you know, they'll do that. And them coaching, that was a very nice thing that I feel like we say, oh, you want to be a rapper. I know them coaches talking crazy to them recruits, like, he ain't no coach for real, you know, it's all publicity stunt. He'll swap you out real quick, knowing that they'll do all of the same things. So that's what just kicks me. Tricks me up about
it. For sure. But we finna wrap here in a second. We gotta ask, so where do you see the business, well, let's say your business, where do you see your business within the next 5 years? Where do you see it standing with your athletes, and what can we expect from you as far as, you know, any upcoming projects within those 3 to 5 years?
So most definitely, next 5 years we're looking at branching out, getting my own facility. That's for sure. Once I get out of school, get into working with all those different things. We facility coming next 5 years, 5 to 10 years for sure. And then starting up camps. Got guys working with. Getting just getting more active in the community. Getting those camps out. Getting more in touch. Not just with just training, but also the recruiting aspect of things, just the business side of things, like getting into clothing, just
I
building.
wanted to tell you, I like that sweatsuit too.
For sure,
That all
appreciate
black.
it. Yeah, those coming for sure, and that's what I have to push myself more so for, because I like the hands-on aspect. I don't try to sell clothes, but shoot, I got something that I like to make, I like to wear, so shoot, I'm gonna put my logo on it. You feel me? And so that's what I have to get into more too. So for sure, clothing and all that stuff, the sets, that's gonna start to pump out for sure. But yeah, the next 5 years is really just growth. I don't need to train everybody. Like I don't need to train every 5-star, every 3-star. God gonna put whoever in front of me that needs to be in front of me, and I'm gonna bless them. And I'm gonna reap the blessings, from that. So I'm not gonna put a certain number on. Oh, I want to train this many people. I want to work with this person. God gonna put that in front of me, and I know that I'm gonna have some great opportunities because of that. So it's really just gonna be the main thing, stacking, saving, putting to the side so that we get that facility going, and really just growing my social media for sure. Gotta get that, to that next level. So yeah, that's what the next 5 years gonna look. It's gonna like a lot of the same stuff. It's really just being able to pour more of my heart and soul into it, because I'm gonna have more time to, once I got out of school and all those different things like that. But yeah, it's just the beginning really now. So we're gonna be about 5 years in 5 years. So it's gonna definitely be at a whole new level.
Yeah. We finna jump into the year one in 2-3 days?
Yeah, it's
I don't got much longer.
I don't got much. Yeah, 2024 gonna be something crazy.
I'm glad I ain't been seeing folks post talking about 2024 my year.
Oh yeah,
I ain't been seeing too much of that.
Every day got to be your day.
Yeah.
It's not a year that's gonna be different.
I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely one of those.
No, for sure.
But this year, not doing it. I'm not doing it.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be, man.
Yeah.
Y'all just pray.
Whatever it is, we gonna take it head on. I promise.
Literally, like pray. Make every day known. This year, your year, make every day your day.
Yeah.
Do something.
Facts.
Just do something to get better. Like no matter what it is, that's what I try to do. Just something. If I'm reading one page out of a book, or if I'm just praying, or if I'm, getting on this phone call, reaching out to somebody, just doing something to get better. So that's gonna be the main thing. I feel like everybody just do something. Like get up out your bed, do something.
Facts. Y'all heard it here first, man. Do something. That's what we learned today. We're going to title this Do Something.
Yes, sir.
You need to get your ass out the bed to do something.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. I'm just going to put you in a better spot.
My mama. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you coming through. This has been episode 22, man. Coach T3. I'm going to make sure I drop all your socials in the description down below, man. Y'all keep tapping in. Y'all keep liking. Y'all keep subscribing, reposting, whatever you may be doing in your way of support. I appreciate it. And shit, if you ain't got anything else for our people,
man, hey, just keep tapping in, man. We growing. All that's going. Had to shout out my boy, Collective the Brand. If you in the H, you done heard of him. My boy Max Gaden, Collective the Brand, like I say. That's what we got on today. And shoot, we just gonna keep working, T3 to the top. That's where we going.
yes, sir. Y'all heard the man, and we gone.
Don't be sparing no nigga, bitch, cause I'm from Dallas, Texas. If he flexing in my section, then we full court press 'em.